This is going to be an exciting week for me. Sideshow Collectibles had an awesome sale where if you spent $300 in in-stock figures, which if you know anything about Sideshow is really easy to do, you get one free. The week that I hit the sale, it was for a Boba Fett with the chipped armor, you know, the armor after he came out of the Sarlacc pit that he had to go find the Mandalorian to get back. And that's the one we're going to dive into today, but I also have two others in here. I've never been able to grab 3 Sideshow at a time, so I'm super excited about this. So cool. Love the look of this. You can see the detailing on the box already. I'm so excited to get into this one. I can't wait to see how the actual sculpt looks. As always, Sideshow Collectibles knocks it out of the park with their packaging. This is an actual picture of the Boba Fett statue, but the way they pose it and with the effects they put on it, looks like it could be straight out of the show. Everything is pristinely packaged, nothing moves around in shipping. Everything as incredibly detailed as you'd expect. The terrain looks fantastic. Smoke plume from shooting the rocket, the wrist-mounted flamethrower. You got his chain code there. These are probably the rockets to come out of his knee pads, which is probably the direction I'm going to go with my setup, and more blast effects. You have his very cool, very homemade looking gun that I'm going to have to find 3D print files for. Different options for hands on both sides, and of course the knee armor. And then you have the man himself, Temuera Morrison's Boba Fett. The armor detail looks fantastic. It's all scuffed up. The helmet looks great. We got the iconic dent in the right spot. Everything looks real good, real clean. There is no option to have the helmet off and to have the actor's face showing, which is kind of too bad, but I probably would have kept the helmet on anyway just because it's more iconic. I love the detail on the tubes. They're this semi-transparent, textured, rough plastic. Looks really good, feeds right into the wrist armor. There's the wrist on the other side, looking equally as good. Everything's real fabric and different texture, where this is a thicker, coarser material, same as the pants. This is a much lighter, even kind of crinkly material. The idea with the lighter fabric done in layers would be to give it that cool effect when you have him posed, especially if you have him posed with the knee up, something along those lines. As always, you get the mounting pole and the clip to hold them up. And I always feel like these things are so obvious and stand out as I'm setting them up and I'm right here into it. But as soon as it's on my shelf, just like 2 feet away, I mean, I sit 2 feet away from these things 8-10 hours a day with my day job. They always look great. None of those little things stand out to me. I actually thought the plastic on the base here was broken, but it's not. It's perfectly carved out to fit with the texture. Every last detail is nailed. I usually look through the instructions as they've been more and more complicated with the movable eyes, light up components like on the Darth Vader, light up lightsabers like on the Anakin and Obi-Wan. If you missed those, go back and check out those unboxings just to see the detail that's getting put into these. I wasn't going to on this one, but I always like to get ideas on how to sculpt them, and the instructions do show a removable head. I went back through all the packaging. I don't have it. There is a deluxe version of this statue where you can set Boba up as he was with the Tusken Raiders. You can get his gaffy stick, that Tusken Raider cycler rifle. Sorry, I forget the name of it. Don't come after me for my lack of lore knowledge on that. And you can put the actor's head, Temuera's head on, which would be really cool. But I did want this version, so I'm not too bummed out. I mean, this was a freebie with my other order, so I really can't complain on getting them because it brings the average cost of these things way down when an extra one's thrown into the packaging. So it's not the deluxe version. There is one where you can get that set up if that's what you're looking for. We're gonna move forward and get Boba Fett with the iconic helmet ready to go. Shut the door to my office and turn these lights on to record. It gets incredibly hot in here, and I spent, no kidding, 18 minutes getting this put together. I knew how I wanted this statue set up when I ordered it. When I knew it was gonna come with the order. I didn't even order it directly. I wanted Boba Fett looking in one direction, shooting the blaster with his arm as the brace for it, with his knee up on the rock, shooting his knee blasters. Couple things I'm a little disappointed on. It's not a lack of quality, but they should have watched the episode one more time. In the episode where Boba Fett gets his armor back, he goes on this tear of stormtroopers. It's quite possibly the coolest 3 minutes of Boba Fett ever. This is part of that iconic scene. I mean, a couple different instances taken together. But in that, the knee blasters are on the right knee, And with the way the platform is set up with the rock on this side and the pole being where it is, you can only place him one way. You can swivel him a bit, a few degrees, but you can only place him one way. The set did come with 2 knee braces, labeled left and right. So to get his foot on the rock as I wanted to, I have to put the knee blaster on the wrong leg. It's a small thing. I'm probably making a way bigger deal out of it than it needs to be, but I wanted it as screen accurate as possible. That's why I pay the big money for these premium format figures that look screen accurate. It's just like a small little detail that I just feel like would have been really easy to fix. Just give a slightly bigger base, maybe a rock on each side so you have a lot more dynamics to it, because even with the rock set up the way I want it to, his other foot's going to be kind of free hanging. When I get it on the shelf, it's going to look cool, it's all going to disappear, but because I'm in the middle of it in my sweat lodge of an office right now, it was kind of rubbing me the wrong way. The other thing that was annoying was getting these smoke effects put on. It's supposed to bend over the side of the armor and clip on. No lie, 18 minutes to get a clip on. One went on in about 2. The other one took that long, and I almost broke the little guns that sit under it and hold the smoke as there's grooves to it. I don't know why that was so hard. Maybe I'm the idiot, but that was way more difficult than it needed to be. Anyway, back on track. Let's get them together, get them on the shelf. Okay, we did it. For a somewhat simple sculpture, I had a really hard time setting this one up. The hands wouldn't stick to the hand joints, the articulating joints. I couldn't get the shoes back on, which meant that the leg guards were falling off. We went over my whole issue with getting the blasters on. Even the hand, the fingers are usually a little bit pliable to get the gun in. I really had a hard time. Everything I was trying to put on, I felt like I was forcing it. I felt like I was gonna break it, and I definitely don't want to break these things. Overall, I'm psyched with it. It still looks really cool. The detail's still amazing. It's still Boba Fett doing his thing. I love the way the fabric drapes here. I got the foot up on the rock. I love the knee blasters. I thought that was one of the coolest things to happen in that episode. There was more accessories, like the flamethrower would have been cool. His chain code would have been cool. But this, to me, is Boba Fett just being a badass. Now we got to get them up on the wall. I'm happy to say I'm running out of room on my shelves. That means the collection's growing, which is cool. I'm gonna have to redo a lot of the office. You haven't seen that side, but it's largely Marvel. I went a lot into Iron Studios Marvel stuff when Marvel was still good. The movies, not so much now. So maybe we'll be cashing those in for some more Star Wars. Either way, let's finish with Boba Fett. There he is, fitting right in near Mando and Ahsoka. Definitely got to spread these things out more to give them some room to breathe. I am psyched with how that came out. This wall is looking great. I wish the lightsabers were on, but they really don't hold the charge. He looks awesome up there. I'm also gonna be adding more lighting to this wall around the shelves now that it gets dark out so early. We really only have the shooting lights to go off of, so to display it a lot better, I'd love to do that and run some USBs for the light up ones. But thanks for watching another unboxing. We got 2 more coming, as I got to order 3 at once, which was so cool. I'm gonna spread those out 1 a week. We're also gonna start live streaming. I got my wife to live stream with me when Skeleton Crew comes out. She likes Star Wars enough, but she's not a die-hard fan, so it's gonna be cool to get a somewhat outsider's perspective. So like, subscribe, do all the things. I don't say it verbally a lot, but I do appreciate it. Check out this video next to dive back into lore.